Have you guys ever made homemade Hostess cupcakes before? Let's do it. Hi guys, it's Miss Bakes a Lot. And first off, what do you guys think of my new kitchen? Do you guys think it is super cute and totally matches my vibe? Or do you think it's ridiculous and totally over the top? I really want to know because I still have time to return it to Amazon. I was just kind of getting tired of my gray curtains. Like I wouldn't use it all the time, but I think it's kind of cute. But what do you guys think? Seriously, what do you guys think? But today we are going to make copycat Hostess cupcakes. I have a party to go to and I'm going to make these for the kids. The kids love these and actually so do I. So let's get started on these, you guys. Now I will either fill these with a marshmallow cream or what's called Holland cream. And today I'm going to do the Holland cream because I feel like this is a very well kept secret. This is not a recipe a lot of people have or use. So I'm going to use this one today. So let's get started on that. Okay, so I have my pan on high. I have a half cup of sugar in there, and I'm going to pour in 1/2 cup of water. Nope. I'm going to pour in 1/4 cup of water. We're going to bring that to a boil, and once it comes to a boil, we're going to turn it off and let it cool. Okay, so as you guys can see, we're at a pretty good boil here. And so I'm going to take it off the heat, and then we're just going to let it hang out and cool. Okay, so now we're going to work on the cupcake part. So this is not my recipe. This is from a website called Sugar Spun Run. Her name is Sam. So first thing we're going to do is 1 3/4 cups of good old-fashioned all-purpose flour. And say it with me, guys. Fluff your flour. Because you guys, a lot of people have converted into weight grams by now. I have not. One day maybe I will, but the reason we fluff our flour is because if you don't and your flour is packed or you have too much, you're going to get a dense cupcake or cake or whatever you're making. So if you don't fluff it and you have too much flour, that's going to be a problem. A 1/2 cup of cocoa powder. I'm going to use 2/4 cups because it just fits better in here. A 1/4 cup of black cocoa powder. You guys, if you watch me for a minute, you know I love black cocoa powder. This is the stuff that they make Oreos out of. It has a deeper, richer cocoa taste. 1½ teaspoons of baking soda. 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to give that a good whisk. And then we're going to add 1 cup of regular sugar and 1 cup of brown sugar. And I'm just going to use 2 1/2 cups just because it fits in my brown sugar better. So 1 cup though. Oops, got a teddy bear in there. Do pack your brown sugar. Don't pack your flour, but do pack your brown sugar. And then we're going to give that a whisk. 2/3 of a cup of oil. 1/2 cup or 1 stick of melted butter. Get that going. 2 eggs. Everything I have, you guys, is room temperature. Add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract or vanilla bean paste. You know me by now. I'm going to use vanilla bean paste. If you only have extract, go ahead and use that. And then I have 1 cup of room temperature buttermilk. I just stuck it in the microwave for like 25 seconds. We're going to slowly add that. And then I brewed, I just went to my Keurig and brewed a cup of coffee or whatever. And I'm going to use 1/3 of a cup of hot coffee. Now you can use water if you want. If you use coffee, it's not going to make your stuff taste like coffee, I promise you. It's just going to enhance the cocoa flavor. But it's completely up to you. Give it a little mix. Don't mix it too much because you don't want to overmix your batter. You have tough cupcakes. So there's a couple ways we can do this. One way is we can use an ice cream scoop or a cookie scoop And this way's a little bit messy. So that's not a good idea for me because I'm already pretty messy. So you can do it this way, but I happen to have one of these little cupcake thingies, and this is what works good for me. I'm going to use that. This thing, you just put it over the thing. Don't fill them more than half full, you guys, because they rise. They will rise over the pan. They will run into each other, so not more than half full. This thing also works really good for pancakes, you guys. And it was only like, I think it was like $20 on Amazon. It wasn't that bad. Okay, so these are ready to go in the oven at 350. Preheat your oven, guys. I forgot again. 350 for like 15 to 22 minutes, whatever. Mine, I'm going to check them at like 15, but they're probably going to go like 18, but I'll let you know. So while those are doing their thing, let's work on our Holland cream because our sugar water mixture is cool. So we need 1 stick of butter. As usual, I'm using salted, softened. 1/2 cup of shortening. You can use regular shortening. You can use butter if you want. Another stick of butter. I'm using shortening because shortening is going to give you the structure that you want for your filling. And the shortening I'm using is called, there's such a thing called high ratio shortening that a lot of bakers use. It has better emulsifiers in it, and so it gives you better structure and it just blends better with your butter and all your ingredients. The name brand is called Sweetex. Well, there's a few different name brands, but Sweetex is the main one. It's very expensive. Walmart actually makes this one. If you can see this, it's called baking shortening. They also have a regular vegetable shortening. This one is different. This one is a very good replacement for Sweetex. Is it perfect? No, but it's very good and it's not that expensive. So 1/2 cup of that. If you want to use it, you can use regular shortening. You can use butter. Whip that for 5 to 10 minutes until it's light and fluffy. I'm definitely going to go closer to 10 because that's how I do my buttercream too. The more you beat it, the better. Okay, so mine went for about 10 minutes and then 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Or I'm going to add, again, if you've watched me by now, I'm going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla and a 1/2 teaspoon of almond extract. Because I just love the flavor of almond extract. Doesn't taste like almonds. It just gives it a really good flavor of, I don't know what that is, but it's amazing. So you're going to mix that up. I'm going to show you what it looks like. You should no longer see any yellow. See how white that is? The butter is no longer yellow at all. I don't know if you've seen inside of a Hostess Cupcake or a Long John. No yellow, pure white. Now we're going to take our sugar syrup mixture and we're going to slowly drizzle that in while our mixture is on high. See, it went from kind of soupy to pretty thick. Now we're going to add 4 cups of powdered sugar. Now, if you need to, if you think that yours is too thick, you can add some heavy whipping cream, and I just might. Or half and half. See, mine's a little thick. I'm going to add just the teeniest bit to mine. Like a tablespoon. Perfect. I'm going to leave it right there. No, I'm not. I'm going to add a 1/2 teaspoon more of almond extract, and that's it. All right, so I have my handy dandy giant cup and my piping bag. And I am just going to put this in here until we're ready to fill our cupcakes. And this makes a lot, you guys. Okay, so I just pulled these from the oven. And it's kind of weird because they sank in the middle. I don't know if you could see that. However, I'm not that mad because I'm going to cut the middles out anyways to put cream in them. And I'm also not that mad because I tasted one kind of when I was pulling them. And they're probably the best chocolate cupcakes I've ever had in my life. And no hate on Sam because this recipe was actually made for cakes, not for cupcakes. So I'm sure it'd be fine with cakes. But what I did was I made another half batch. And if you can see, they're not nearly as sunken. These ones were the first batch. So these ones are definitely better. I don't know if you can really tell on camera, but these ones are definitely better than these ones. What I did is I cranked my oven up to 425 for about 9 minutes and then turned them down to 350 for about 4 to 5 minutes. So yeah, these ones look way better. But again, this recipe she designed was not for cupcakes. It was for cakes. But you guys, wait until you taste these. And I will use this recipe for my chocolate cakes from now on. It is amazing. But while these are cooling, we're going to make the ganache for the top of the Hostess cupcakes. Okay, so when you're making ganache, it's so easy to make, you guys, and it is so good. So I'm going to use milk chocolate chips in mine because I love milk chocolate. You can use semi-sweet chocolate if you want to. If you're using milk chocolate, it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So if I'm using 2 cups of chocolate chips, I need 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. If you're using semi-sweet chocolate, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So if you're using 1 cup of chocolate chips, you're going to use 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. So I'm going to use 2 cups of milk chocolate chips, 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. I just do mine in the microwave. And I will do the first time at 1 minute, stir it, and then do it in 30-second increments after that until it's nice and smooth. And the reason we're doing that while we're waiting for our cupcakes to cool is because that needs to come to room temperature. Okay, so this is what it should look like when it's all melted. It's pretty loose. You don't want to dip anything into that right now. So you can put it in the fridge if you want to help it along, but make sure you keep stirring it. All right, so now we're going to start coring our cupcakes. So I have this little cupcake corer. If you have one of these, you just stick this in here, you move it around, and it pulls the middle of your cupcake out. Can you see that? I think I got this at Hobby Lobby for like $3, you guys. So then you plop that out. Keep these, you guys, because we got to put that back in there. If you don't have a cupcake corer, then just get yourself a sharp knife and cut around in there and cut your middle out. It sure is a heck of a lot easier with a cupcake corer, because then when you go to put it back in, it's just a lot easier. So go to Hobby Lobby or go on Amazon and get one of these guys. So then we're going to take our Holland cream that we made earlier. I put mine in a piping bag. If you don't have piping bags and tips or whatever, you can just use a Ziploc. Fill it up pretty good. Then you're going to take your little thing and stick it back in there. Because when we dip it, you don't want to like a divot in there after you dip it in your chocolate. Okay, so I took my ganache out of the fridge and it is thickened up quite a bit, if you can see. See, I lost my top in there. So we're going to put it back on. Okay. And then just kind of clean it up a little bit. And there we go. And then we're going to put the little white swirl on there after these dry a little bit. I'm thinking though, you guys, instead of dipping, it might be a lot easier to do it like this. So I'm going to try that because every time I try to dip, I'll lose my stuff. Don't put too much though. You want a thin layer. See? I'm going to put these in the freezer to set up. And while those are setting up, we're going to make the little curly Q frosting. Okay, so all this is we're just making like a super simple, sort of like a buttercream, but really just like a really thick icing. So I just put in a quarter cup of butter. I'm gonna beat that really good so it's nice and smooth. Then we're gonna add 3/4 of a cup of powdered sugar. And it's gonna look really dry and crumbly, like it doesn't want to come together for you. It's okay because we're gonna add some heavy whipping cream. I'm gonna add like maybe 1 or 2 teaspoons. So mine's like that. It's pretty thick. I probably added like maybe it was probably like 1.5 teaspoons of heavy whipping cream. Okay, so I just pulled these guys out of the freezer. So time to get their little curly cues on them. I put my stuff in a piping bag. Again, if you don't have a piping bag, you can use a Ziploc, but this is pretty thick, so you're gonna have to push hard on your Ziploc. And if you do have a piping bag, I just use a little teeny tiny writing tip. So to twirl it, we're just going to make the little curly cue. Just like that. See? Okay guys, here they are. The cutest little Hostess cupcakes, and they taste so good. They're cream filled Holland cream, which is kind of a secret. You guys, now you have it. So I hope you guys make these. I hope you guys love these. And if you do make them, I would love to see them because aren't they cute? Thank you guys for watching. I hope you join me again for another awesome recipe. You guys have a great night.